Hi everybody, Stephanie Kraft here. This video, I'm going to be talking about this battle that goes on inside of some of us who have a mission on the planet to expose certain things, or who are in a soul group of truth. So everybody has a different purpose, a different mission. Everybody is in different soul groupings, and each soul group has a purpose. And I'm in a soul group of truth, and I think this is a pretty big soul group on the planet, and there are probably multiple groups of truth on the planet. But I know that I am in a soul group of truth, and I'm also a healer. And so this topic is something that has been really part of me and on my mind and on my heart for so many years. And I know that I'm not alone because I've talked to other people in the same kind of predicament. So I had my spiritual awakening in the year 2000. And that was like a metaphysical, spiritual awakening. It wasn't an awakening about what was going on the planet. It was just a spiritual, personal awakening. So that was 2000. Massive things were happening to me that year and ongoing. And then in 2003, I started to wake up a little bit to some of the lies and control of within the matrix, within this planetary system. So basically in 2003, there was the shock and awe campaign that the media put out, that Bush put out when the war on Iraq was beginning. And so I began to learn about the truth about 9/11. I don't know if it was like right before that or after, around that time, it doesn't matter. So 2001 was when 9/11 happened, and I was not aware of the truth of it then. And then I woke up to that probably around 2003. And then from that point forward, I was deeply researching for so many years, even until I'm not really deeply researching now. It's 2018, but I'm very aware of what's happening on the planet and beyond, because a lot of the negative things that are happening on this planet are not isolated to Earth. They are interdimensional and beyond. So I was researching a lot, deeply and for many years. And then I had my son in 2005 and started researching vaccines. That's when I woke up to that whole agenda. And beyond, for many years from 2003 till now. So for so many years, I've been researching, learning, and knowing about extremely dark things. And I've been privy to a lot of this information directly from people on the inside, we could say. I have a really weird situation in this lifetime where I guess certain people recognize me that as somebody that they can trust or talk to, that they somehow, I think at the soul level, know that I know certain things, and then they tell me things. So a lot of the things that people would call conspiracy theories are actually real, true, and happening. And somehow people come and give me information. So not to just give me information, but to share their stories with me. I don't share anything like that. I keep everything personal and private. But the point is that not only have I done my research, I find out about things in so many different ways. We can put it that way. And so I've had this inner battle going on for, well, let's say 15 years or 10 years. It doesn't matter how long, but where I want people to wake up. I feel, and I might not be correct, but I feel like part of the process of exiting this matrix, ascending out of this planetary system and, ending this cycle of reincarnation and evolving and reaching enlightenment is to know truth. And so I'm a seeker of truth. I can't help it because I am in the soul group of truth, but it is so ingrained in me to want to know truth, to feel into truth, to be discerning. And I'm not really satisfied until I feel that I know the truth about something. And so I'm always on the quest for truth. Truth is a vibration. Truth doesn't need to be proven. I mean, internally, we're not talking about like in the court of law and things like that. I'm just talking about truth being a vibration. And sometimes we just know things and we know that certain things are true. And so I'm always on that quest to know what is true. I think part of being in the soul group of truth and having this desire to know what is truth is that we will be faced with the opposite and have to learn discernment through our lives because we're really honing that skill. I'm also a healer. So my soul is a healer. I'm a healer. Everything about me is everything that I am here on this planet in this incarnation is to be a healer. And so my strong desire for other people to wake up to the truth, because I feel, and I might not be right, like I said, I feel like if we can know truth, we can evolve, grow, and become free. And so because I have a strong desire for humanity to wake up to truth, I feel like exposing all of the things that are going on the planet, which prevent humanity from being free and being under a really strong control system and being harmed and all the things that are happening. But, and I'll share a dream because I had a dream in around 2010, maybe, where I was walking on a bridge high above the earth, a very wide, white bridge. And the feeling, such overwhelming relief. Those of us who were walking on the bridge were not carrying anything, and we were walking home. We were going home, and everybody was just like, bliss, peace, relief, like major relief that we got to leave Earth. And Earth was below us. And I would say more than 70% of humanity was left behind. And I had this feeling of like, they didn't make it. And I was very happy because I was going home and free. It was the feeling of freedom and relief was indescribable. It was a great, amazing feeling. And I realized that the humans that were left behind to stay on Earth still had lessons to learn. They hadn't woken up and they were still blinded. They were still not awake. And, maybe humanity has shifted onto a different timeline where more humans will awaken and be able to get to this next level. I'm not claiming to understand what this bridge home really meant, or what it means to exit this matrix or end the cycles of reincarnation if I don't pretend to understand what if humanity is all together on the same trajectory and timeline, or if there are different waves of it or phases, or we are each on our own timelines. There's so many possibilities, along those lines. But so this battle that I have is that, when we're exposing the things that are happening in the world that are on the dark side, that control humanity, it can be perceived as negative and, like I said, dark, evil, and that can cause people to go into fear. And personally, I have no fear about anything in those regards. I'm really not afraid of anything. I would imagine if, there were a lion or a bear like right in front of me, yeah, I would feel fear. But my point is, I don't have fear about anything, about this world or what's happening or anything in my life or anything like that. So I don't operate from that place. But some people do. And some people can get into ruts and negative thinking and depression and anxiety and things like that. So we don't want to be overwhelming people with information that will cause them to go into negative emotional states. So there's a very fine line. So on one hand, I feel like the more you know about what's going on, the more you will wake up and have the desire to transcend that. And how we do that is through the positive side. So more love, more unity, more peace, more releasing attachment to this physical world. It's really about the path of enlightenment. It's a spiritual journey. If we are to do that, if we want to, if that's our path. And so for some of us, we can handle knowing all of the negative, scary, evil, bad things that are happening on the planet. And at the same time, our souls are evolved enough where we're on the path of enlightenment and we are not focusing on that, and we're able to transcend duality and be holding a very high vibration and be healers for humanity and the planet. But we also need to think about the world that we are creating. I'm going to make a separate video about that, just to talk about that. But it is connected to this video. And so the battle that I've had all these years is like this interest and desire to learn about what's happening in the world, and kind of like this really strong feeling to just take everybody and like shake them, like wake up and look at this and see what's happening, so in a way that will be empowering for them. Like I said, I feel like if you see the truth, know the truth, it's like you can snap out of the illusion and the delusions of this world and then have an awakening, a spiritual awakening, an awakening to the illusions of the world, so that you can be on that trajectory toward your own personal evolution and enlightenment. Except that we don't get to control that path for others. And so some of us, and I'm speaking for myself here, although I'm transcending this, but I'm speaking to the ones like me who are here for truth, justice, and exposing this information, and who are healers. Because of our role, it's very, it's conflicting. We don't want, like I said, we don't want to push people into negativity, depression, anxiety, fear at all, because we're here to heal people. And so after a while of part of your mission might be finding out the information, researching. If you're a truth seeker, a truth warrior, then you start exposing it to others, talking about it, posting about it, writing articles about it, speaking about it, making videos about it, any way that the information is getting out there. A point might come where you begin to question, is this helping? Is this creating the world that I want? Or is this focusing on what we don't want? And we know, those of us probably who listen to this type of information know that we are creating our reality, and what we focus on, we are creating more of. And so we need to take a step back and begin to question what we're focusing on, where we're sending our attention and our energy, and what kind of world we actually want to create. Now is the time to choose. And now is any moment, for you, it's every now moment, right? And so whenever it's appropriate for you, it's to choose, what am I focusing on in my life, and what am I creating for myself and others? And we are a collective consciousness. And if we want to really be on board with creating the world, the way that we want it to be, we have to resolve this conflict from within. This conflict that we have going on between exposing truth and then, unifying and healing and bringing in the higher vibrations of love and peace and unity. And the idea of, instead of look over here at all the bad stuff, what about look over here at the paradise that we can create and the harmony that we can have together? And so, having been through this type of conflict within for so many years, I just wanted to talk about it. I wanted to talk about it because I think that just by opening up this discussion and having people to listen to or talk to who are also going through the same type of feelings, it opens up that dialogue for a feeling of connection, but also perhaps some resolution and some ideas for how we do want to create. I think that's about it. I feel for myself that it is time to really be focused on the world that I want to create, be focused on the oneness, the unity, the love, the peace, the goodness, the light. And so I'm going to be focusing less on the exposure of all that I have learned about the world. I'm not really, I guess I haven't been doing too much of that over the past couple of years, but anyway, the point is that it feels like for me a really important shift, and I wanted to share that because if you're drawn, like your higher self will guide you to this video when it's time, and it'll be like a tap on the shoulder, like, you're having the same thoughts, you're having the same inner battles, and the more we each step up to creating the world that we want and focusing on what we do want, the more the old world will fall away. Again, it's vibrational, and we are creators. We are the creators of our reality. So think about the kind of world that you do want to create. I'm going to make a video specifically about that too, probably right after this one. So I hope you're having a beautiful day or night, wherever you are in the world. Many blessings and peace and love.